Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I've got a massive red alert to share with you guys, and one that was shared yesterday at CPAC by many congressional leaders as well as reporters. And unfortunately, our fears are now coming true because an unholy alliance has just been formed, and this particular alliance seeks to control our internet using a dragnet style censorship, if you will, where they control any and all content, and they get to deem what is true information, what is misinformation, what is disinformation. You will not believe, and you have no idea what's about to hit us all in the rear end, metaphorically speaking. But before I get into the report, just a quick break.
New studies have just revealed that when people reach the Middle Ages, that their body often produces less collagen than it did in their youth. Collagen is the main building block of our skin, making up about 70 to 80% of it. This is why we get saggy skin and wrinkles as we age. And that's why it's even more important that you start supplementing your diet with collagen. And I highly recommend BioTrust at healthwithlisa.com. You see, supplementing collagen literally improves your skin's elasticity, allowing it to be smoother, plumper, and even more youthful. But the right kind of collagen is difficult and downright impossible to get into your diet and supplements. You risk ingesting dangerous ingredients, and not to mention wasting money on a product that doesn't actually combat aging. That's why I highly recommend BioTrust Ageless Multi-Collagen Formula. And right now, you can get it by going to healthwithlisa.com. That's healthwithlisa.com. Right now, BioTrust is offering a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, but this formula has the essential collagen that your body needs. 5 different types from 4 different sources. And right now, for every order that you put through, BioTrust is literally giving a nutritious meal to a hungry child in your honor. Not only that, but this collagen is so easy to take. You can either mix it in your cold shake every morning, or if you're like me and you truly love coffee, you can mix it in your coffee and it stirs right in without clumping. So take advantage of up to 51% off by going to healthwithlisa.com. Anyhow, all the information is also found in the description box below. All right, back to the broadcast.
So let's start first with the warnings that were given to us by multiple congressional leaders and reporters over at CPAC, because they all seem to be saying and warning of the exact same thing. So let me take you to the first clip here, and this is Josh Hawley, and here's his warning to the American people. Take a listen.
We're facing a fight for the republic itself, and we are facing an unprecedented alliance of radical liberals and the biggest, most powerful corporations in the history of the world. They are standing together. You know who I mean. People like Google, Facebook, have you heard of them? Twitter. These companies have more power than any companies in American history, and they're allying with the radical left to try to impose their agenda on this country. They want to run this country, and if we don't do something, they are going to. And we've got a word for that. It's called oligarchy. And that's what we're facing in America right now. And we've got a basic choice. We can have a republic where the people rule, or we can have an oligarchy where big tech and the liberals rule. And that is the choice. That is the challenge.
And he isn't wrong. So he's here warning that there is an alliance between liberals, big tech, as well as even the mainstream media. This is the same warning that I have been sounding for the past year. But in all honesty, it's getting worse and worse. And he's not the only one that is sounding the alarm. Let me take you here. And this is on Breitbart.com. Matt Gaetz also warned of something similar. He is warning of a chimerica under big tech and big government. Now, he goes on to say this. Representative Matt Gaetz warned Americans on Friday of the looming threat of big tech and big government that they pose through censoring political speech. When big tech and big government teams up, America starts to look more like China, Gaetz said. And the chimerica dream is shamefully a nightmare for our people. And that is downright terrifying. But he goes on to say, he spoke about the growing threat of deplatforming and censoring prominent voices on the right at a speech at CPAC held in Orlando, Florida. And I quote, "If we win the debate but lose the internet, ours will be the last generation of American greatness," he warned, noting the increasingly powerful institutions would squelch even the faintest whispers of dissent. And again, he's hitting the nail on the head, and he's not the only one. Of course, we also have Marsha Blackburn on the same wagon here, and this is Breitbart.com. She says, big tech aiding and abetting China's push for global dominance. And she goes on to say, during the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, on Friday, that big tech is aiding and abetting China's mission for global dominance. China and big tech, they have a cozy relationship, she said, and they have been allowing the Chinese Communist Party to spew all of their information. I can't find anywhere where they have even been censored, blocked, or banned. This is three leaders. We have Marsha Blackburn, we have Matt Gaetz, and we also have Josh Hawley warning of this. Something, again, that I have been warning about. And please don't hit the pause button and say you already know, because it's very critical what I have to share with you in just a moment, because there is an unholy alliance forming and you're not going to want to miss it. But they're not the only ones. We also have a former reporter, Alex Benson. He's the former New York Times reporter, and he says, this is on Fox News, on censorship and free speech. Times have changed, and the New York Times has changed. If you only knew the record, his voting record, you'd think I should be speaking at ACLU and not CPAC. But here's what he had to say. Former NYT reporter Alex Benson slammed the mainstream media and big tech for its continued attempts to censor and deplatform views that it does not like or does not want to debate during a speech at CPAC in Florida. Right? So there you have it. He's warning again of the big tech cozy relationship with the liberals, with the mainstream media. So there's your alliance. Now that we have the warnings from everybody, I want to show you how they are now exploding. And this article is literally going to drop your jaw to the floor. And this is on Gaetz's Microsoft, right? MicrosoftNews.com. And here it is. And this is very recently, February 22nd, 2021. And you got to hear this article. Technology and media entities join forces to create standard groups aimed at building trust in online content. Now, what they're talking about here is sort of a dragnet over your information, controlling disinformation by them deciding what they believe to be right information and what they believe to be wrong information. We already know that Bill Gates is on the far left. We already know that their idea of censoring information means removing the president of the United States and removing conservative writers and libertarian writers and anyone who supports the president of the United States. And now we've got a further push of an alliance over the internet. I don't know about you, but I didn't vote Bill Gates and big tech organization over our policies. But this is exactly what Gaetz and Hawley and Blackburn and Alex Benson and myself and many other people have been warning about. And now it's here, folks. It's truly here. Adobe, ARM, BBC, Intel, Microsoft, and TruePic form a coalition to develop end-to-end open standard for tracing the origin and evolution of digital content, which in other words means they're going to trace the source of the information to find out who exactly said it, when they said it, and how they did it. If they can do that with whatever they deem, they can do that with any and all information. You see how that works? Imagine what this could do to whistleblowers. But the article goes on to kind of dive into it a little more. And here's what it says. A group of influential technology and media companies has partnered to form the Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity. This is called C2PA, a joint development foundation project established to address the prevalence of disinformation, misinformation, and online content fraud through development technical standards for certifying the source and history of provenance over media content. Founding members basically include Adobe, ARM, BBC, Intel, Microsoft, and TruePic, who seek to establish a standardized provenance solution with the goal of combating misleading content. Again, who gave them the power and the authority and the ability to comb the internet like that? Is Google giving them heads in, or are organizations signing contracts with them? I mean, think about the power to control what you can and can't say. That's what's being given. C2PA member organizations will work together to develop content, provenance specifications for common asset types and formats to enable publishers and creators and consumers to trace the origin of evolution of a piece of media, including images and videos and audio and documents. These technical specifications will include defining what information is associated with each type of asset and how that information is presented and stored, and how evidence of tampering can be identified. And it goes on a little bit further in the report, and it says this. The formation of the C2PA brings together founding members of Adobe-led Content Authenticity Initiate and the Microsoft and BBC-led Project Origin, unifying technical specifications under a single entity. The CAI is building a system to provide provenance and history for digital media, giving creators a tool to claim authorship and empowering consumers to evaluate, they say, whether they are seeing what they are seeing is trustworthy. So they're saying they're going to give you the ability to evaluate if what you are seeing is or isn't trustworthy based off of their personal assessment of it. You see how that works? It's, we're going to give you what we think, which is a leftist radical view, and then you, quote, get to decide. Okay, right, moving on. Project Origin has its roots in the production and distribution of news. Hey, they're controlling the news. The effort has focused on tackling disinformation in the digital news ecosystem by attaching signals to a piece of content to demonstrate its integrity and making this information available to those who use it. With a foundation of C2PA, technical standards will be unified while these two entities continue to pursue adoption, right, education within their respective communities. Again, who gave them the power? This is an unholy alliance that is rising over our internet to control what you see, what you hear, what they believe to be approved information and or not. This is how dictators seize control. They have to seize control over the internet, and they always do it in the name of, we're going to make sure that that information is not seen by people because it can cause harm. It can cause death. People die because of misinformation, and they're already spouting this kind of stuff. You're either all freedom of speech, you're free, or you're not. And they always take freedom of speech in the name of safety and security, folks, because the question that has to be asked is who decides what's safe and secure? And in this case, leftists, radicals, and leftist organizations, which have been proven that they've already decided that conservative content is not worthy of being online. I mean, really? This is called political opposition that they are after. This is called an oligarchy. This is called tyranny. Whatever name you want to label it. But Matt Gaetz, Josh Hawley, Marsha Blackburn, Alex Bernstein, and many other people, including myself, are raising the alarm. Don't just hit the off button saying you know about it. We need to start really taking action and telling our congressional leaders and Republican leaders, if you don't do something about this, we're not sending one more dime to your platform. We're not giving you any money till this is solved. And that's truly and honestly what we're going to have to start doing, that kind of stuff. Because if not, we're going to lose the United States of America. That is the card that is now before us. Anyhow, I love all of you. Please share this video with everyone you know and subscribe to the channel. I haven't heard anybody talking about this warning or this technological alignment or this unholy union. Nobody's brought it up. This is a very prominent thing that is happening. This technological and media entities joining forces to control the internet. And somehow they're given the power over the internet, but they're not really saying who gave them the power to do that. They're just making the technology and implementing it. No questions, if, and, or buts. Where's the conservative group that's doing that? Or the libertarian groups that's doing that? Doesn't exist. See the problem? And they already have control over the media. They already have control over Hollywood. They already have control over the executive office and both branches, the entire Congress, the House and the Senate, right? They have control. And now they're gaining control over massive portions of the internet through big tech organization. And this alliance goes together and they start doing that. Goodbye, Christian viewpoints. Goodbye, conservative, libertarian, and all that will be left where your leftists will be your leftist radical views, because everything else will be deemed as hate speech and misinformation. Anyhow, please subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Rumble and BitChute. These are alternative platforms as opposed to here. I'm also on Parler. Parler is back up. If you're not subscribed to Parler, get subscribed to Parler and get subscribed to BitChute and Rumble. I'm under there under Lisa Haven, and all the links for all my channels there are found in the description box below. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.